let's get started then with the class. So now we are going to look at a masterclass, which is all about grammar.
Yes.
When we learn grammar, we need to learn grammar through examples. My principle is the most important thing is vocabulary and then grammar. We learn grammar through vocabulary. When you create phrases, you should try to vary the grammar you use, but understand why we use this grammar. So in this lesson, we're going to look at complex grammar. Before we begin, I just want to say thanks for attending, Miguel. I know you're taking your time to do it, and I really appreciate it. We have, again, tomorrow sessions at 11 o'clock and at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I will record all of the sessions, so you will be able to see them and you will be able to review them. I will show you where you can find those. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock again and at 5 o'clock. So what are we going to study? How can you study grammar effectively? Basically, we study grammar, especially complex grammar, when we focus on the uses of this different tense. We need to know how to express hypothetical situations, desires. We need to know how to emphasize negative meaning. Now, we use complex grammar to express complex ideas. What we're going to do is look at what is complex grammar, which structures count, what is the grammar used for, the reasons we use this grammar, how can we use complex grammar, and why is complex grammar important? So let's see. To begin, we will look at what is complex grammar. Complex grammar is used at levels B2, C1, C2. For level B1, you only need to attempt to use complex grammar. You don't need to use it well. You need to try to use some, but you don't need to use it well. Level B2, C1, C2, you must. So what are complex structures? We have mixed tenses, going from the present to the past, past to the future. I will explain. We have modal verbs, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional. We also have wish, passive, causative passive, inversions, cleft sentences, relative clauses. There are more, but these are the general complex grammar structures we will use when we speak. So let's get started with what is complex grammar used for. When we use complex grammar structures, we should focus on the meaning, not the structure. So you want to focus on meaning. For example, I want to talk about a likely situation. If I go to the cinema, I will watch a film. You don't really need to know that this is the first conditional, but you need to know likely situation, this structure. Okay? Now, for each level, what do you need to do? In Cambridge, they express this. For the B1, you show a good degree of control of simple grammar forms and attempt some complex grammar forms. So you need to try to use some complex grammar, but you don't need to use it well. Just try to use some. You can use a first conditional badly, and you have tried. That's B1. B2 shows a good degree of control of a range of simple and some complex grammar forms. Now, you can make mistakes with B2 and complex grammar, but you need to understand most of it. Now, let's see C1. Maintains control of a wide range of grammatical forms. So C1, you don't make many grammatical errors. almost all of your grammar is good. Simple and complex grammar. So let's review what complex grammar is, and we will talk about how to use it. Now, how do we use mixed tenses? Mixed tenses show that we can be agile and flexible. We need to change between the tenses to express ideas. For example, I used to go out a lot, whereas now I prefer to watch TV at home. I go from the past to the present. Next one, I went to Japan on holiday last year. However, next summer I'm going to Japan. Past to the future. It seems simple, but it demonstrates you understand different grammar structures. So, Miguel, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to use a mixed tense in your answer. So, present, past, future, as you like. So, Miguel, what do you get up to each and every day? So, what do you do each and every day?
What I do in my day life.
Yeah, because get up to means to do. What do you get up to? What do you do?
I was thinking get up on my bed.
Okay, yeah, it does look simple.
Yes, I used to go to a supermarket or maybe to the chinos to buy some products, some food. But today I was attending to an English class.
Okay, so today I have been studying English.
I have been.
We would use I have been because we are still inside the same day and you are continuing doing it. So I have been attending English classes because it's our second class of the day, of course. Yeah, good. So what do you get up to each day? You could say, generally, I do many things. For example, I do sport in the morning, then I work until about midday. Later, I go home and spend time with my friends. However, when I was a teenager, I had more free time. Therefore, I spent most of the time with my friends. Present, past. So you change between the tenses, okay? This is complex. It seems simple, but it's complex. Now, let's look at the next bit. Modal verbs. We use modal verbs for advice, ability, necessity, obligation, prohibition. In the courses, we explain a lot about modal verbs, how to use them, when to use them, but this is an overview. So we could say phrases like, you should eat a healthy diet. I can speak 3 languages. You needn't translate all the time. You must study daily to improve. You mustn't break the rules in the workplace. What I would like us to do is to answer using some modal verbs. So, again, what do you have to do at work? You can use mixed tenses, because I remember your situation you told me about.
In my work, in fact, I am not working now, but I used to clean the hall of the theater. I used to help to people to take a seat inside the theater. No, I used to tear up the tickets in the entrance to the people.
Exactly, good. Now you are using used to a lot, which of course is the past tense. Now you can use in the past had. I had to, and it's what you had to do, your obligation. I had to help people find their seats. I had to tear tickets and assist with anything that people needed. Okay, so you could use had to as a past modal, of course. Good. So modal verbs, generally for advice, ability, necessity, obligation, prohibition. A second question, Miguel. Are you good at your job? Or were you good at your job?
Yes, I consider that I made good my job.
So you can say, I could do my job well. Yeah, I was
Yes,
able
I,
to do my job well. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, good. Okay, fantastic, Miguel. Thank you. That's modal verbs. Now, let's see. First conditional. As I've said, it's not really important to know it's called the first conditional, but this is for a likely, probable situation. Simply with an example, you talk about probable things, a condition, if, and a condition, consequence. Okay, will something. So if I get a new job, I will earn more money, or I will earn more money if I get a new job.
yeah,
Instead of if, you could use other keywords. So if can be substituted with if, when, once, as soon as long as, providing that, before, after, unless. Do you
yes, but
understand these keywords?
why always this kind of conditionals are using if in they
Yeah, you
are
don't
all
have to use if. If is the future time clause. You can
you
use
can use any
always.
of these words,
Yes,
only of the words, as long as
exactly.
providing.
But the meaning is
Yes.
different. Now,
Yes,
once, una vez que, of course, as soon as, tan pronto como,
yes,
as long as, siempre que, providing that, con tal de que. The meaning changes, but they can substitute if. Okay? So let me ask
okay.
you a question. Can you please tell me a likely probable situation with it? So if you go on vacation, what will you do? So if you go on vacation, what will you do?
If I will go on vacation, uh, if I go on vacation, I will go to the beach.
Fantastic. We do not join the future time clause if with the modal verb. If
Yes,
I go, if I do, if I have, not if I will. Okay, so
yes,
good. Fantastic. So if we can answer with a likely situation, we can also use it to give examples. When I go on holiday, I do many things. For example, if I go to the beach, I will sunbathe. However, if I go to the mountains, I will ski and I will go hiking, for example. So you can
yes.
use it to give examples. Good. Now, if we want to talk about an unlikely or improbable situation, we use the second condition. We can also use it to give advice. For example, if I earned more money, I would have more spare cash, more extra money. I would have more spare cash if I earned more money. So the word order changes. You need to manipulate that.
Yeah.
I can also give advice. If I were you, I would learn to speak English fluently. Or an expression, in your shoes, if I were you, yo que tú, I would look for a new job. Now, the second conditional is unlikely, improbable, or advice. So, Miguel, tell me, can you answer the question? If you could work in any job, what would you do? Not where would you go? What would you do? There's an error there.
If I work in a new job, I will go on vacation.
Okay, the question is generally, what type of job would you like to do? So if I could work in a new job, I would work as a doctor because I would like to work in medicine, for example. Or because the question has an error, Miguel. It is not what would you go, it is what would you do? What would you do? It's my error, I'm sorry. So if you could do any job, which job would you choose?
If I could choose any job, I would choose a job related to electronics.
Exactly, related to. Yes, exactly. And if I were you, I would do a job related to electronics, because in the future, I think there will be many different jobs related to this area. Exactly.
Yeah.
Notice that the keywords, future time clauses, there aren't as many in the second condition. We can use if, as long as, providing that, unless.
Okay. Yeah.
Not when, not once, not as soon as, not before, not after. Okay? Good. Now, if we want to talk about the hypothetical past, changing the past, we will use the third condition. Now, with this, you simply use past perfect for the condition and would have participle for the result. For example, if I had studied medicine, I would have worked as a doctor. This means I didn't study medicine, so I didn't get a job as a doctor. Now, your question, if you had moved to the USA, where would you have chosen to live?
If I had been,
If I had moved to the USA, you could.
If I had moved to USA, sorry, what was the question?
It's at the bottom. You say, if you had moved to the USA, where would you have chosen to live?
If I had moved to USA, I would like, I would have
liked.
I would have living in New York.
Good. So I would have liked to live in New York. Or
I would have
liked to
yes, yes.
in New York. Or I would have chosen to live
Yes.
in New York. Good. The easiest way to answer a question is repeating the same structure.
Yeah.
So with a conditional, you simply repeat it, and then you can review. Okay, and then after you justify it, because I think it is an amazing city.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wish. We use wish to express a desire for change. You want to change something. It can be changing your present or changing your past. So the first phrase, I wish I had more free time. That just means now I want more free time. I wish, I desire more free time. So I wish I had more free time. Ojalá tuviese más tiempo libre. We can use wish with would, meaning it is something irritating. It's annoying. You want to change your life because you are sad, you are angry, you are upset. I wish I would earn more money, meaning, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, it's annoying, it's frustrating. We can use wish with the verb to be, but we use the subjunctive. I wish I were better at languages, just like the second condition. Not I wish I was.
Yes.
And if we want to talk about changing the past, I wish I had finished my degree, meaning I did not finish my degree. It would have been a good idea, but I didn't do it. Okay, so let me ask you a question again, and let's see if we can answer. Do you wish you could be better at anything?
Better at the?
Better at anything, like any activity.
Yes. I wish I had finished my studies in electronics.
Yeah. Oh, so you did study electronics in the past? Oh, no.
Yes, sorry?
You studied electronics in the past?
Yes,
okay.
But I didn't finish.
Okay, yeah, I understand. That's why you say it's an area that interests you. Yeah, that's fine, good. Now, you could say as well, I wish I could be better at French. I wish I could be better at football, for example. I wish I could be better at swimming. I wish I could be better at speaking English. Okay, we can use many of these structures. Something you want to improve. Now, we have the passive. The passive Basically, we use it when the subject, what does the action, is unknown, desconocido, of course, obvious or unimportant. It doesn't matter who does something. So, JFK was assassinated in 1963. Yeah? Who by? Well, by Harvey Oswald, but it's not important. What is important is he was killed. The car is being fixed by the mechanic.
Yes.
Is it important by the mechanic? No, it's obvious. It's normal. So it's not important. I was lied to by a friend. Important thing, someone lied to me.
What is the meaning of this sentence?
I was lied to by a friend.
My friend
told me a lie.
Told me,
but the important thing is the lie.
Yes.
Which friend? It doesn't matter.
This is strange for me. This.
Yeah, no, it's basically just saying, I want to give you information.
Yeah.
But I won't tell you who did it.
Yes.
Okay, so we use it when we don't want to say who does something. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, to understand the passive, you simply need to understand the verb to be. You understand to be, it's really easy. For example, my brother has eaten all of the chips. You know that you need to use the verb to be for the passive, object, be, participle.
But in this sentence, my brother has eaten all the chips. Yeah. Doesn't appear the verb to be, no?
Yes, in the second sentence.
And the second, yes.
Yes, because the first one is the active, the second one is the passive.
Yes.
Okay? Because the first one is subject, grammar structure, then complements. This one you have complement, object, verb to be, participle, then subject. Okay? So, here is the question for you. Miguel, when was the last time you were lied to? So when was the last time someone told you a lie?
The last time I was lied, me, no?
I was lied to. Or last time someone lied to me.
The last time I was lied to me was when a friend of mine in my village in Calahorra, a woman asked for me a loan, a small loan, and she didn't
return it.
Return.
Yeah, give it back or return it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So the last time I was lied to, because you are the object.
Yes.
You don't do anything. You receive the lie. So the last time I was lied to, or the last time someone lied to me. Yeah. So the passive, I was lied to by someone.
Yes.
Active, someone lied to me. Okay? Good. Okay. Now, as I've said, the passive is used when we don't know who does something, or it is obvious or unimportant who does it. Okay? Or we don't want to say who. It's also possible. Now, causative. We use the causative to express two different things. We generally use the causative when we ask or pay somebody to do something for us. Now, I want to pay someone to do something for me, I will use the causative. For example, I often have my food shopping delivered, meaning I pay the supermarket to deliver my food. I do not take the food. I pay, they send the food. Okay? I normally get my bike repaired. I pay someone to repair my bike. Okay? So we use have or get as an object, then the participle. We can also rephrase by saying get someone infinitive object. For example, the first phrase, I often have my food shopping delivered. Rephrasing, I often get someone to deliver my food shopping.
Yeah.
Or I normally get my bike repaired. I normally get a professional to repair my bike. So you can mention the subject, but you need to use get, someone, infinitive.
Yes.
There are more meanings at level C1, but this is the important thing for B2, really. So, Miguel, question. How often do you get your hair cut?
I often get my haircut.
Good, because I like having my hair nice and neat, yeah, for example.
Yeah.
And I normally go to the hairdressers so that they cut my hair. So
Yeah.
this is a very common form to use the causative. Get your hair cut, meaning you pay somebody to cut your hair. You
Yes.
get somebody to cut your hair. What you cannot say is, I cut my hair. Because this means
Yes. Because
you personally do it.
you don't do this action, no?
Exactly, exactly. Now, inversions. Inversions are used to emphasize negative meaning. We use negative adverbs, and it's used to emphasize negative. The important thing is the negative. We say negative adverb, auxiliary subject. For example, not only can I speak French, but I can speak German too. Meaning, important thing, not only French, but German too. So not only can I speak French, but I can speak German too. Never, never before have I been to China. Meaning, I have never been to China. But emphasis on never.
Yes.
No sooner had I finished work than you called me. Means, as soon as I finished work, you called me. But no sooner. Nada más. Yeah?
They are always in negative form, no?
Exactly.
Yes.
Under no circumstances should you lie. Meaning, you should never lie. You should not lie under any circumstances. At no time did I say that I would lend you the money. Meaning, I did not say I would lend you the money.
Yeah.
Seldom, which is rarely,
Yeah.
seldom, comes from German. Seldom do we get such a great opportunity. Meaning rarely. Now, this is a grammar structure that comes from German. They still have this in German.
Yeah.
Okay, because the subject is always in, and the verb is always in second position, so that's why we use this. Okay, now, other inversions. We can use inversions instead of conditionals. So the phrase, had I known that you would arrive late, I would have phoned, means if I had known that you would arrive late, I would have phoned. We also have, were I to win the lottery, I would just retire and travel the world, meaning if I were to win the lottery, or if I won the lottery. Notice it's were, subject, infinitive. It is a strange structure. Were I to win the lottery is if I won the lottery.
Yes.
Okay, now these are more formal than normal conditions, but we do use them, especially in writing. Now, here is a question for you. Again, if you could travel around the world, where would you go? You can answer with a conditional, then maybe an inversion, like one inversion.
It's difficult.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
use the structure from the question.
If
If I could travel around the world, I would go to.
if I could travel over the world, no,
Yeah.
I will have visit new places.
Yeah, so I would visit many different places. For example, I would go to Asia and America. You can use an inversion. Not only would I visit China, but I would also visit Japan.
Yes.
Okay? You could also say, at no time have I traveled around the world. So if I could travel around the world, I would visit many places. Now, we will see this in C1. We see a lot of this in C1, okay, Miguel? And you learn how to use it really well, okay? Fantastic. So those are inversions. Learn with examples, okay? Right. Let's see. Cleft sentences. We use cleft sentences to put an emphasis on an opinion. So you could use phrases. Instead of I think, I reckon, we can say what I reckon is, what I am trying to say is, what I want to get across is. Get across, transmit. Get across.
So you use always what, no?
Yes, what and then is. There is another type, but this is the most common type for opinion.
Yes.
Now, you need to emphasize your opinion using a cleft sentence. So, again, what's your opinion about our education system in Spain?
What I reckon about education system is that government has to improve the means to improve, to put more resources, not to improve the
funding. Yeah, so a great way to use a cleft sentence. What I reckon is that the government needs to improve the system and they need to provide more resources and more funding, you could say.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic way to give your opinion using a cleft sentence. Now, again, in C1, we see this a lot. Now, relative clauses. These are common in all areas of grammar, B1, B2, C1. B1, you do not need to use it well, but they are there. So B1, B2, C1. So we use relative clauses to add more information. You have determinate clauses with only necessary information or non-determinate. Now, let's take a look at this. I know a man who works as an astronaut. Why? Because man, a person, the pronoun is who, and you omit the subject. I live in a place where you can walk safely at night. Now, a place where, but you is a different subject, therefore you include.
I knew relatives pronouns, no? That, who, and which, no?
Yeah, there are more. Yeah.
About why, for example, where, why, and whose is are relatives also.
Yeah, these are also relative, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but for different meanings. Now,
I know.
I have a new car that I bought secondhand. I could say I have a new car which I bought secondhand.
Yes.
Now, for a reason, that is the reason why I always tell the truth. And then we have whose for possession. This is my neighbor whose dog is always barking. We use it to join two phrases together, basically, to add information. So
to
here is a question.
Information.
Exactly. So, do you know anyone who has an interesting job?
I know a friend of mine in Madrid that who is an important sound technician.
Yeah, who is unimportant, and you could say what she does, and you could explain why afterwards, of course. So we normally use it for a person, who, and what they do. We use this a lot in monologues. I can see a person who is talking on the phone. There are people who are running.
That you can use in both cases, persons and things, no?
And things, exactly. People.
Yeah, but sometimes in some in my academy, they penalize me to use that always, no?
Yeah, but it depends. If there is a comma before, you cannot
yes.
use that. You must use which.
Yes, it's the comma before that, no?
Exactly. And that is more informal in that sense, okay?
Okay.
Good. So, why is complex grammar important? Complex grammar is used to express complex ideas. It is part of the assessment and you must attempt to use it.
Yes.
We should include some complex grammar into our language by using high-frequency phrases with complex grammar. Even for C1, not everything you say is complex. You need to understand and use the correct grammar in the correct situation. Most of what you say is simple, but you will say some complex forms, okay? The idea is to learn with phrases and think, okay, today I'm going to work on conditionals, but with my vocabulary. Vocabulary, conditional phrases. Okay? So learn grammar through examples. Now, what have we learned today? We have learned what complex grammar is. We saw many structures that are complex. Can you tell me 3 complex grammar structures?
For example, we were talking about first conditional, no?
Yeah.
Second and third conditional.
Third conditional, good, fantastic. We also have the passive.
The
wish,
passive.
inversions, yeah, causative passive, relative clauses, mixed tenses, modal verbs. There are so many, but some things you think, this is easy, but it is still complex grammar. So what is complex grammar used for? It is used to express complex ideas. Yeah?
Yes.
How can you use complex grammar? Learn complex grammar with vocabulary. With your phrases, write and say your phrases out loud. Repeating structures, and you'll know why to use it. And why is complex grammar important? You need it, be able to understand better and to pass exams. Yeah?
Yes.
You use complex grammar to express complex ideas. Okay? Miguel, do you have any questions about complex grammar?
I knew the most of them, except the inversions, maybe clef. For me, grammar is the more complex topic subject in English, because for me it's not attractive thing, no, to learn. I prefer, yes. It costs me more time than learn vocabulary.
Yeah, I imagine you struggle to spend time using it because you don't.
Yes.
However, you should not focus too much on grammar. Focus more on vocabulary. All grammar is simple, but there is a lot of it, and when you mix it, it's confusing. But all grammar is simple. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so bit by bit, we learn with examples. Okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. Good. Now, obviously, we have class every Friday as part of the online course, but this week, we are still using the masterclass. So we have class tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay? So tomorrow at 11 o'clock, sorry, is it 10? 11 o'clock, we have class. Okay?
Yes.
Now, this would be starting in October. We will be doing this timetable, okay?
Okay.
Right. I will show you where to give the recordings. If you need any help or you need any advice, send me a WhatsApp to 652-466-477 and I will help you with anything.
Sorry, did you tell me the recordings where is there?
Yeah, I'm going to send them to you now.
On WhatsApp?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm putting them onto YouTube, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miguel, and I will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We will be looking at listening skills. Yeah.
Tomorrow, listening skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Have a nice day.
You too. Have a good afternoon.
Bye. Bye
Okay,
bye.
see you later. Bye.
See you later.
Bye bye.